Well, hey there, leaders. Happy Monday, fresh start to a new week. And I just wanted to share with you guys 10 things that I saw that were a little bit new for online church this weekend. And so I did a Facebook Live this weekend, and a lot of pastors were saying that was real helpful. So I thought I'd give it to you real quick in a real quick package here. 10 things that I saw that were a little bit new or that people are kind of ramping up on church online as you're navigating, especially this week as you're getting ready for Easter. Here are 10 things that I saw that maybe you might be able to consider. Number one was that I saw a couple churches that were having people that were kind of sitting behind them, kind of old school church style, not necessarily on pews, but on church on stools, chairs, sitting behind them that they could maybe interact with a little bit. They could kind of turn, have a little on the side, and talk to that person for a little bit while they were preaching. Especially for those of you guys that are interactive preachers, that kind of helped them break the mold of I'm just kind of speaking to an empty room or just to a camera. So they kind of had somebody they could turn to and kind of get an amen from or a little bit of an interaction from a little bit. Number two was I'm seeing more increase of people saying, hey, leave comments, leave an amen. What is your family doing? So in the middle of their messages, they're saying leave a comment, or even before during the announcements, they're kind of giving leave a comment there. Now again, I would a little pause, hesitation there, or a caution, I should say. So not everybody's watching on a device that can leave comments, right? So some people are watching on their screen, their TV's full screen, and so they can't necessarily leave a comment. So I wouldn't overdo that a little bit. But number three was having staff and volunteers hosting watch parties. So again, you can go on to Facebook and set aside a watch time. And so having multiple staff members and not just one person or from the church page, but having multiple staff members doing a watch party so that their network is reached and they can do live commenting and exchanging of interaction there. The other thing that I'm seeing is a much more of an increase of Zoom groups. So immediately following the service, so maybe your service ends at 10:30. Well, 10:45, we're all jumping on Zoom groups, and here's the links to your Zoom group and all that kind of stuff. And so kind of planning that ahead of time, saying, hey, immediately we're going to go right into some Zoom groups. Another one is virtual lobbies. I'm seeing this really, really increase, is having multiple staff members, again, not just the lead pastor, but multiple staff members jump on live, Instagram, Facebook, before services, after services, and doing a live virtual lobby. And so again, this is just totally interaction. This is not debriefing. This is just totally, how you doing? Let me pray for you real quick. Thanks for jumping on. Real interactive format, and just like you're in the lobby. Hey, I haven't seen you for a while. How's the kids? Man, praying for you. Thanks for working in the hospital. All of those types of things. Number six. This was a really interesting one, especially for those of you guys that come from an altar background. You're just kind of missing that altar moment where people come forward for prayer, come forward for salvation. I saw a couple churches doing this, that they were doing live altar calls. This is really good, especially for those that have, again, if you're an altar community, but also those that are multi-site, right? The lead pastor does the message, and then, hey, we're going to turn over to our campus pastors right now, and every campus pastor, boom, pops up onto Facebook Live, Instagram Live, whatever it might be, and begins to interact with their specific campus. Or again, if you're a single location, maybe you can just jump on. And again, you're praying right there. And if you're giving your life to the Lord, let me know. And you're praying them, lead them through the sinner's prayer, whatever it might be, right there live. I thought that was a great idea. Number seven, I'm seeing it easier for guest speakers. A lot of churches had guest speakers this week, getting ready for Easter and that kind of thing. And so easier than ever to have guest speakers. They don't even have to fly in. They can do it right there in their own environment if you wanted to, or you could have them, if they're in the area, have them come in and record earlier, but it's a little bit easier to do that as well. Number eight is having a pre-roll to your service. A lot of people are beginning to do that. So having a 5-minute, I'd say just even an 8 to 10 minute, because as people are scrolling through, they can see, oh man, your church is about to go live. It also helps the algorithms of Facebook, Instagram begin to build up some traction for you. I'd suggest having some commenting in that B-roll. Hey, where are you watching from? All kinds of stuff, because all those comments, those likes builds the algorithms up for you, that before you even get started, that algorithm is working in your favor. But also, again, like for example, for me, I'm at home. If I'm, I even know what my church times are, but sometimes if it's just dark, I don't know. Man, did they forget? Is it not working? But if I have that pre-roll going 5 minutes ahead of time, then I know, okay, cool, they're going. There's a countdown. We're going to go here in a couple minutes. Number 9 is a lot more family interactive moments. I'm seeing a lot more of that. Hey, let's gather the family and pray together. Hey, let's take communion together. A lot more family interactive moments. Again, if you're going to do communion or something like that, obviously you want to try and communicate that ahead of time so that they can get those elements ready to go. But I'm seeing that because the family's all together, usually you've got kids in kids church, youth in youth church, adults in adult church, everyone's sitting in rows. You just can't really do that as easily in your typical Sunday service. But today you can. Everyone's together. They're not in rows. They're on their couch. And so having them do a little bit more interactive elements, I'm seeing that increase as well. Number 10, this is really new, but I just think more increase, more focus is on social sharing, reminding your people, hey, before we even get started, hey, how about you guys hit that share button and get that out to your network. So I said number 10, but I have a bonus for you. And I think that this one is one that's going to actually be staying with us. So I think what I'm seeing is more and more churches who typically have one service or typically have two services, they're now going to 3, 4 services, and they're even going to different days or different times. So maybe they have a 9 o'clock service and an 11 o'clock service. Well, now they're doing a 5 o'clock service as well, or a Thursday night service as well. I think there's two things that are going on there. Number one, I think people are testing times. Do people like these times? It's a really safe way to test times. And then number two is I think this is going to stay. I think that when we come back to the new normal, I think that people are going to begin to continue to have these alternative online-only experiences, and people will be ready for them. And then, what I think will happen is that people will just have a online campus pastor, you could say, that's watching that watch party, that live service. But I think that that's going to stay. In my opinion, I think that we're going to see that trend stay, that there's going to be the live on campus recorded, but then there's going to be online only experiences at these new alternative times. It's why not, right? So those are 10, really 12 trends that I saw this weekend. Hopefully that's helpful to you guys.